The Young Thug YSL RICO trial has a few interesting updates. The state filed 2 of the dumbest motions of all time, and Marquavius Huey is in hot water for allegedly bribing a corrections officer. Alright, first thing we got here is motion eliminate to allow the state to present all relevant evidence to the jury and to deny defendant objections to presentation of relevant evidence on the basis that said evidence is a waste of time. As you can see here, Miss Love is completely delusional because some of this has been a waste of time and been sustained by the judge. So I don't know what the she's talking about. Honestly, I really don't know. State of Georgia, by and through Fonnie T. Willis, District Attorney for the Atlanta Judicial Court, and undersigned Chief Deputy District Attorney Adrian Love hereby moves this honorable court to allow the state to present all relevant evidence to the jury and to deny objection to the presentation of relevant evidence on the basis that said evidence is a waste of time. So basically repeating the thing at the top. Respectfully submitted to this day on the 8th of October. So this is what she's been doing on this little hiatus of this week off. Writing up this bullshit right here, which is absolutely delusional. Now the next thing is motion eliminate to revisit evidentiary ruling. By and through Fonnie T. Willis, Adrian Law, blah, blah, blah. Revisit the court's ruling excluding State's Exhibit 528Y on the basis that the exhibit contained inadmissible hearsay. So this is about that Instagram post of Doo-Wop or Justin Cobb right here. And as you can see, someone asked him for his number. It's blurred out, but it says 3145 right there. So remember that whole ordeal where Shard asked for a mistrial last week? She's trying to bring it back up again. So what I think Miss Love wants here is a mistrial, because that's the only explanation. Why would you ask to revisit this and have the judge bring this all back in when it almost caused a mistrial? In what world are these appropriate motions right here? These are terrible motions. And I'm not the only one that thinks this. Shout out Thugger Daily for these tweets, by the way, but someone said, starting to feel like they know they're not going to get a guilty verdict, and they're leaning on the length of the trial to keep these guys locked up as long as they can. Let me get this straight. Is she asking the court to waste more taxpayer dollars on nonsense? Has she heard of the phrase judicial economy? Even this motion is a waste of time and has no legal support. Bring the popcorn. Yeah, I would imagine defense lawyers are going to shred this up and completely shit on this. The sheer stupidity of this filing will be studied for generations in law school right there. Don't do this. I think this motion will set Whitaker over the edge. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, because last week, remember, Whitaker was already getting annoyed with how long the trial was. She yelled at Miss Love several times, and it just wasn't looking good. Like, it was pretty much the worst week Miss Love has had, which is insane to say when we've been seeing 10 months of a complete disaster on Miss Love's side. What the hell is this nonsense? How can an officer of the court file something like this with a straight face, let alone a prosecutor, a minister of justice? Doug Weinstein, Yacht Gotti's lawyer, says, I've never seen anything quite like it. Oh, also right here, Fulton County jail elevators for attorneys are not working. So instead of the jail staff making accommodations to ensure inmates have access to their attorneys, jail staff is turning away attorneys and saying, tough luck, try again later. What? Isn't that the craziest shit you've ever... Oh, our elevators are down, so you can't see your client. This county is doomed. There's gotta be changes in Atlanta, dude. And I know a lot of you were like, why not use the stairs? If the elevator's down, attorneys aren't allowed to use the stairs. I can't believe this isn't a joke. Why won't they let you use the stairs? There's a joke in here somewhere. Do you have a punchline answer? So Anthony right here says, this is amateur hour stuff. Try your damn case. Yeah, Miss Love has been doing the opposite of trying a case, dude. I said this months ago, probably 4 months ago. I said, I feel like half the prosecutors in the United States could try this case in 3 to 4 months, and we're on month 9. Doug Weinstein also said, I filed a response tonight, not that it merited one. Frying Miss Love, dude. So we can't see that response yet because I don't think it's like in the system. It doesn't show up in the system yet. In other news, a Fulton County corrections officer has been arrested for taking bribes from inmates. And apparently Huey is involved in his family. Huey that's been in the courtroom every day.
A former Fulton County detention officer is now in jail. She's accused of taking $17,000 in bribes to smuggle in contraband.
What the I'm telling you, each week this trial goes on, it gets more and more insane.
Learned one of the inmates involved is a defendant in the YSL trial. Michael.
Linda, we've learned that when investigators searched this former detention officer's iPhone, they found financial transactions, some of which were between that defendant, Marquavius Huey's family, and this former jailer. Tonight, though, we have learned through this investigation that they believe 4 other inmates were also accused in this criminal scream.
I was like, wow, I was shocked.
That's the reaction that Fulton County Deputy Tessa Cole says she had as she watched this jail security video in July during a criminal investigation into a former detention officer accused of taking $17,000
I think that's Huey right there. I can kind of tell by the haircut.
in bribes in exchange for helping inmates smuggle in drugs and cell phones sold inside this jail.
There were specific transactions on certain days that aligned with nefarious and criminal activity going on her floor by her.
Cole was talking about her now former colleague, Carmen Bailey, who had been under investigation since 2 inmates came forward and reported her alleged criminal behavior back in May.
So other inmates snitched is pretty much what happened here. And what is going on with corrections officers in Fulton County? Like, remember there was that one that was getting back shots from Christian Eppinger? Literally like having sex with them in jail.
Surveillance video recorded back in July, investigators say Bailey is seen escorting 2 inmates into a restricted area of the jail, one of whom has been blurred because of his cooperation. Inmate has been identified as Marquavius Huey, who's one of the 6 defendants currently standing trial in the YSL Rico gang case. Court records accused Huey's mother and brother of paying Bailey a combined $1,500 to help him sell contraband to other inmates. Bailey's also accused of doing business with at least 4 other inmates, including Osama Manuel and Marcus Foley. Both men are awaiting to stand trial on gang and murder charges.
This jail needs to be shut down. Like, Rice Street is actually doomed.
Of data to track, obviously patterns. And in this tracking, the amount of contraband found on the floor that she was operating and, had a duty post orders, it was an uptick.
Yeah, in the last hour, attorneys for Mr. Huey sent me this statement regarding the allegation.
Oh shit, I didn't know his attorney's response. So Mr. Matthews said something.
It reads, unfortunately, it has all become too common that we hear about allegations of corruption, bribery, and violations of oath of office by the men and women responsible for housing and securing those individuals who are in custody within the Fulton County Jail. Our client, who has been in continuous custody since December 2021, is cloaked with a presumption of innocence as to all of these recent allegations, and we will litigate this case in the courtroom. The statement ends in where all issues or proof will be zealously tested. Again,
pretty basic response, like, yeah, we'll see in the courtroom, motherfucker. But I mean, the footage doesn't look good, and if there's financial exchange on cell phones, that's not good. Not a good look, Huey. What the fuck are you doing trying to sell shit in jail? Jurors see this. I don't know how there's this notion that jurors aren't on social media seeing the shit show. Like, I guarantee you at least like 3 or 4 of them are. So this is just not good. I mean, I'm sure some of them actually follow the rules and don't look at social media and avoid it, but yeah, court resumes tomorrow, but I don't think there's any jury at all this week. Like, it's done for the week. They're probably gonna be figuring out like evidence and shit, and this is gonna blow up in Miss Love's face because it's the worst motion I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's formatted weird. Like, she just repeated everything in the title and then didn't really add anything else, and she's bringing up stuff that bro, Twitter is... And I just saw a car run over like 30 people on Twitter. I'm not showing it, but if you want to see it, it was restricted reels on Twitter. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Miss Love is an absolute disaster. Huey might have fucked up, boys. And court resumes tomorrow. Love you guys. Hit subscribe. Peace out, boys. But if you want to see it, it was restricted reels on Twitter. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Miss Love is an absolute disaster. Huey might have fucked up, boys. And court resumes tomorrow. Love you guys. Hit subscribe. Peace out, boys.